The second generation Lexus IS does many things well: performance, comfort, features, styling, reliability, efficiency, but the infotainment system is outdated. And so I wanted a solution that would be tidy, without cables lying everywhere. And I didn't want Bluetooth audio either, because Bluetooth audio only lets you control playing and pausing, going to the previous song and the next song. You can't browse your music through the head unit, and you still have to pull your phone out to change playlist or artists, etc. I didn't want my phone mounted on a big fat ugly mount on the windshield, and I didn't want an ugly magnet on the back of my phone too. The phone should just be out of sight. And so I also wanted CarPlay, because it's designed very well for driving and jumping between nav and music and other CarPlay apps as well. There's also Android Auto for those of you with Android phones. I also wanted the option to watch videos for long trips, so my wife and other passengers can watch. I wanted a system that also properly utilized the Mark Levinson sound system. There is no point having a great amp and speakers if the sound is being processed through some cheap garbage sound system and DAC. I also didn't want the solution to take over the HVAC controls, because if it crashed, I would lose the HVAC controls. There are some dash kits out there that allow you to have an aftermarket single or double DIN head unit, but they are all placed at the bottom, which is silly because the screen should be high and in your line of sight whilst driving. And this is where the GROM VLine2 seemed to be the perfect solution. The GROM VLine2 is an Android-based device that completely modernizes the infotainment system in the Lexus IS. Now firstly, when it boots up, it loads very quickly. There are no long loading times here. You'll also notice that the processor is very fast, which means that everything on the VLine2 is very fluid. This is absolutely essential. Nothing feels more painful than navigating through a super laggy operating system. Now the touchscreen on the IS is resistive, which means it works by pressure. It is not capacitive. This means you can't swipe and use gestures or pinch in and pinch out. But everything you do in VLine2 is designed for resistive touchscreen, so you still have full control of all your apps. Now, to make up for it, the screen is ridiculously clear. I mean, Lexus were way ahead of the game in pixel density, even for 2020 standards. The VLine2 really shows off the quality of the screen. So this is the main home screen here we have of the VLine2, and as you can see, you can just place apps wherever you like. Like any Android device, you can log into your Google account, access the Play Store, and you can download any Android app onto this device. This is all done through Wi-Fi. You can also use OK Google as well, which had just picked up my voice, which I'm not going to be using now. So the first app that we're going to look at is the local music app. We can browse music stored on the device or a external USB drive, and it works very well. And I like how it reads your the metadata so that your library is organized by artist and by album and genre and so forth. You can also browse by folder, although that's a bit more old school. It also shows the album art and other graphics, which looks nice, although it's a little bit clunky to browse through. If I go back to the home page by pressing this button over here, I'm taken back to the main app page, and I've also got, for example, Vlc Media Player, and that's how I can play my movies, and they will play through on here. And you can see again just how clear the screen quality really is. And these are videos that are all saved onto my USB hard drive. Cool. If I go to the Play Store, once I've downloaded any apps, I can choose where to place them. I can go here and I can have shortcuts to any of the apps that have been downloaded from the Play Store. Okay. Now you can use any apps from the Google Play Store on the GROM VLine2. And if it uses data, you have to use your phone to hotspot to the VLine2. And it's quite annoying to set up a personal hotspot every time you want to use data on here. So if you're going to use apps for navigation, it's best to use apps that support offline apps, and you'll just use the GPS signal from the GROM unit, but you won't be able to see things like traffic and search for new places because you won't have internet connection. But again, I use CarPlay or use Android Auto for using navigation. It's much easier to use. If you use apps like Netflix or you have a premium YouTube account, you can also sync those videos to your device when you've connected to your home Wi-Fi, and then when you go for your drive, you can use that offline. There's also a Bluetooth music option too. If you want to connect your phone via Bluetooth, you can do so, and you can browse the music through here, which I don't use personally, but is handy for passengers if they want to connect to your sound system. There are other ways to customize the view and look of this homepage here, but again, it doesn't really bother me because I only really use this for playing videos, and the rest of what I do, 90% of what I do, is using CarPlay. Now I'm going to go through CarPlay to show you how it works, but I've got another video which goes into more depth into how CarPlay works, but I will give you a brief overview. So firstly, when you use CarPlay, it's disabled. So if you tap on here, mine says activate, but by default it says I think it's deactivated or disabled. And if you plug your iPhone in, it's not going to work. So to activate it, you have to tap on this button here. Just keep tapping it. It won't change anything. Well, you won't see anything change, but keep tapping on that, and after about 10 or so times, it then says activate, and then your CarPlay will work. And I've set mine to work automatically whenever I connect my phone. So if I go back here again, and I have my phone here, and if I go ahead and connect my phone here, you'll notice it now goes green, and it will go into the app. And now we are in the CarPlay app. So let's have a quick view on how this works. So firstly, when we get to the CarPlay app, we have got the Apple Maps app. We've got a quick link to our suggested next destination, some calendar reminders, and also our music options over here as well. If I tap on this button down here, I can see all the other CarPlay apps that are on my phone. And if I tap on the GROM button, that will take me back to the default Android system. So to go back to CarPlay again, I just tap on that, and here we are. So the first thing is navigation. So I've got a number of navigation apps. I've got the default Apple Maps, there's Google Maps, and lately I've been playing around with Cygic and TomTom Go. And personally, I found TomTom Go to be the best app out of all of them. And it works really well. And if I just tap on here, I can go menu, search for anything, go to a recent place, and I can see how to get there. And so this works really, really well. And the graphics look very good as well. One thing you'll notice is that CarPlay, Apple has restricted what these GPS apps can look like. So they actually all look very similar. They all have your instructions here, your main navigation here, information on your ETA, distance, and etc. is all down here. They all look very similar, but there are little differences that do make some better than others. So again, my GPS review will show more detail on that, and that will be in the description below. So that's navigation. Then we have music. So I use the default Apple Music app. I guess a lot of people nowadays use Spotify, so Spotify would work pretty similar to this. I use this because a lot of music that I listen to is not available on Spotify. But here I can browse through artists, and you can see how fast and responsive the screen is as well. And the animations are very, very fluid. And I can tap on the music here and just start playing it, and there's nice big easy buttons for me to press on when I'm driving around. If I want to go back to artists, I can go to playlists and so forth, and back to now playing over there. And so your navigation and music apps are always stuck to the sidebar here, and the other app that you use will be over here. So if I go to the phone, I've got keypad, my favorites, recents, other contacts, and I can type things in easily and very easy to use when driving. There's also a messaging app, but this app, it will not show you the text, but it will read the texts out to you. As you can see, the main two things I'm going to be using when I'm driving is the navigation and the music, and I use this pretty much most of the time, and it's so quick and easy to jump between these two apps. Anything else that I need, I just go back here, back to GROM, and I can browse my videos and start playing my videos while I'm driving. And again, it's very quick to jump in and out of these apps, as you can see. So that's pretty much it, and you can see how simple it is and how it completely solves the issue of an outdated infotainment system. CarPlay and Android Auto are the biggest features, and as well as that, of course, you can use any other Android app that you want to use on your infotainment system.